We've got AOC jumping all over the fact that this commencement speaker at a historically black college over the weekend surprised graduates by announcing he's going to pay off the student debt of the entire class of 2019.
Robert F. Smith, Mr. Philanthropist, billionaire. He's worth, I think, like $5 billion, something like that.
Wow.
And he was speaking, and he decided in his speech that he was going to pay for this year's graduates' student loans.
Nice. So he's going to pay off everybody's debt, and that's about 400 kids, and they think that that'll be a total donation of about $40 million.
Think of that.
$40 million.
I mean, think of that alone.
I mean, that's pretty sweet. And that's nice for you if you're in the class of 2019.
No kidding.
But then all of the socialists are jumping in, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and saying...
Because he was doing it on behalf of the government, right? He didn't...
No. He did it on behalf of himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Money that he earned?
Right.
In our capitalistic society?
Exactly.
The hated, dreaded United States of America?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And so she said that's it's an opportunity to understand how student debt weighs down people. Well, then don't accrue student debt.
Right.
Here's an idea. Work during your high school years. Save money. Work during your college years. Pay off your college as you go. Pay as you go.
Been done before.
Millions of people have done it. And it's just not a thing anymore, I guess. It's not a thing that you can even ask of these kids. Hey, you know what you should do is get a job when you're in high school and save your money and pay for college yourself.
What?
How about that? Or, I don't know, get a job during college and pay for college yourself.
Yeah. And it's okay to, hey, I can't afford to go right now. I'm going to go back to work and save some more money, and then I'll go back to school.
Exactly. You don't have to accrue massive debt. You don't have to. I mean, if you choose to, well, then you understand what you're getting into. So stop whining about it because you knew what you were getting into. And if you insist on going to Harvard or Yale or Princeton, you're going to have massive debt once you're done. Pretty simple. Yeah. Unless your family's incredibly wealthy.
Right.
Or you got scholarships. Well, that's a different deal then. So, this whole student debt thing is just, it's a silly discussion. Ocasio-Cortez also said people shouldn't be in a situation where they depend on a stranger's enormous act of charity. Well, then, again, they should pay their way through school if they don't want to accrue the debt. Or here's another option for you. Go to a community college where it's pretty cheap.
How dare you?
And you can pretty easily pay for it. Go to a trade school. Go to a state university, heaven forbid. There's some options there for you.
There are plenty of options. And look, nobody's complaining about the colleges who are charging more and more for their
Nobody
studies.
Ever even mentions
Not
it.
one time. Not one time.
It's never the fault of the colleges who are charging outrageous tuition to the kids who come to the schools. I mean, look at Harvard. Harvard's got an endowment of almost $40 billion. $40 billion. They could pay the tuition with that endowment of every single student who goes to that school. They could all go free for the next 25 years with $40 billion. Are they going to do that? No. Why not? I mean, they've got the money. They could easily do that if they're so altruistic. Let's see it. Put up the money or shut up or lower your tuition.
That's an idea. But they don't need to lower their tuition, right? Because it's guaranteed that they're going to get their money.
Right. And nobody's complaining about their tuition. Except that when they have student debt, but nobody complains to Harvard about that. They complain to the government about that. And this is a fantastic example of capitalism.
It sure is.
This Robert Smith, who put up his own $40 million to pay off this student. That's exactly how capitalism should work. He made all that money. He wanted to do something really nice with it. And he did.
And he did.
And
he didn't have to.
Didn't have to. Right. And it wasn't the government that paid it off.
He could have walked away with his honorary doctorate and said, hey, good luck, God bless. I'm out. I'm going to go back to my yacht. He probably still did that anyway.
Probably. Because $40 million to a guy who has $5 billion is nothing. That's like $40 to you and me. I donated $40.
I'm going to give you a little kick in the butt, to help you out here for your tuition. There's $40.
But I mean, it's commendable. It's really cool that he did that.
It's great.
He'd already pledged like $1.5 million to the school. So it's nice. It's nice of him. He didn't have to do that.
No, he didn't.
And I'm sure he does a lot of other charitable work as well. So that's what capitalism is all about. That's capitalism at its best. Somebody who earned the money and they, of their free will, wanted to help others. That's really cool. Good for him.